Hi, my name is John Bailey, and I'm the blind guy who sees options. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 resume hacks that will get bosses to want to hire you. I've been employed continuously for over 20 years, and that's no accident. I've been through ups, downs, downsizing, rifts, all of them. And I've always been able to land on my feet because I planned ahead and knew what to do. Well, I'm going to pass some of that information along to you so you can make yourself stand head and shoulders above all other applicants when you turn in your resume. The bitter truth is that the job of HR people after you turn in your resume is to do whatever they can to throw your resume away. Odds are they're going to get hundreds, if not thousands, of resumes applying for the same job. They've got limited resources, limited time. Basically, they only have 2 or 3 seconds to decide whether or not your resume is a fit or not. Odds are they're going to toss your resume if there's anything wrong with it, anything they're not expected, anything they're not looking for. So what I'm going to talk about are 3 resume hacks, 3 things you can do to get your resume through the gatekeepers, so that it doesn't get tossed. It actually makes it to the desk to someone who can offer you a job. Number 1, the easiest thing to spot, and the number 1 reason HR people throw resumes away, is because of simple grammatical errors. People just didn't double check or just didn't care if their resumes were grammatically correct or not. What that says to an HR person is that if this job isn't important enough for you to spell check, it's not going to be important enough for you to show up in time or even do a good job. So the number 1 resume hack, I know it sounds obvious, but so many people forget it. I've seen hundreds of resumes, is to do a simple grammatical check. Find a friend who really knows English language, who knows the rules of grammar. Have them look at your resume. It's easy to overlook your own mistakes. Have them look it over. Have them fix it. That's number 1. Fix your grammatical errors. That'll do a lot towards getting your resume through the door, and like I said, to someone who can actually decide to hire you. Number 2, I'm going to go back to this again. They get hundreds, if not thousands, of resumes for each position. If it's not easy to read, if they have to work to see what's on the paper, if the font is too small, if there's too much information, too content dense, they're going to toss it. They've got too much work to spend a lot of time plowing through your resume, looking for that little golden nugget. They're not going to see it because your resume will actually be either in the recycle bin or in the trash can. So, hack number 2, use plenty of white space. Make your resume readable. Here's an old thing. You don't want to put your life story on a resume. You just want to have just enough information to get them curious, to get them to want to learn more, to get them to make an interview appointment with you. So, number 2, use plenty of white space, make it readable, your resume readable, make it brief, just the high points where you've added value, and use a font that's not too small. This is literally true. I saw a resume once. It was 4 pages. They squeezed it down into 1 page. I don't even think the guy who wrote it read it. It was so hard to read. Number 3, back to the HR people. They're really busy, and let's be honest, they probably don't know your business very well. All they're told is, look for these keywords. And if you don't have those keywords in your resume, you might have used different terminology, but if they're not exactly the same, your resume is going to get tossed. So, how do you know which keywords to use? What are the words that's going to get your resume through the gatekeeper? It's so simple. Usually there's an ad put out or some sort of announcement saying, this is the job and these are the skills we want to have. Cut and paste the description of the job the terms they use for either, if it's, let's say it's technology, computer, operating systems, any tools, if they use it in the application, in the announcement, put it in your resume. They are trained to look for that. That's what they want to find. So with those words in there, your resume is going to have a much better chance of making it through the gatekeepers. Okay, let me review real quick the 3 things you can do, 3 hacks you can do your resume right now to make your resume much more likely to make it through the gatekeeper, the people who love to shred and throw stuff away, and make it to the desk of someone who can actually decide to hire you. Number 1. Spell check, grammatically correct. If there's anything people don't like is to see grammatical errors, and you will get tossed. No matter how good your credentials are, unless you're a celebrity, you're going to get tossed. We don't want that. Grammatically correct. Have a friend help you with it. Number 2, make your resume readable. We don't want a life story. We just want the high points, just enough to whet their appetite so that they'll call you in for an interview. So make your resume readable. And one way of doing that is using a lot of white space. Separate the words, separate the sentences so it's just so easy to read. And at a glance, they can see what you have to say, what your skills are, what your history is. Number 3, these HR people, they don't know your business. So what they look for is keywords. And unless you have the keywords they're looking for, your resume is going to get tossed. So where do you find these keywords? Look in the ad for the job to begin with. All the keywords, it's all in there. Just use them in your resume. It's that simple. A little bit of preparation, and these 3 easy hacks can get your resume through the gatekeeper and get you an interview, which is the goal. Or even better, how about a job offer? If your resume is good enough, people will want to hire you. If your resume is readable, people will want to hire you. If you use the right keywords, the words that people are looking for, the potential bosses are looking for, they will want to hire you. I hope you found this of interest. If you've got any questions about interviewing or making your resume any better, please leave a comment. Love to hear from you. Be glad to help out in any way. Please check out my website, readinginthedark.biz. I'm going to be posting a lot of blogs and updates, a lot of free content, and you're perfectly welcome to go and visit. Again, my name is John Bailey, and I'm the blind guy who sees options.